Hello everyone and welcome to Ref's Corner. That is right, the newest platform on YouTube giving you all the insights in relation to the life of a referee, decisions made in matches and so much more. I'm joined alongside former FIFA referee Karl Tyrell, someone to this day who I still call coach based on the history of representing the high school. Coach, how are you doing, Mr. Tyrell?
I'm good, Simon. Thanks for being here. Thanks for helping me with my channel, Ref's Corner.
Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure to catch up with you. Firstly, a lot of people will be wondering as well, we don't normally see this online, referees speaking and even coming in the public's eye as well, your thought process in starting this project at this point in time.
Well, first and foremost, let me first apologize for my voice. I'm a little bit hoarse. My two sons, they were a bit ill 2 weeks ago and I have to transport them to and fro. So if I sound this hoarse, please forgive me. As it relates to starting this channel, I see the need to inform the public, to educate spectators, coaches, players, and the wider public as it relates to refereeing. Some of the decisions that referees make on the field of play is very, very important.
Indeed. Yeah, it's such an important factor there. Now, Mr. Tyrell, a lot of people wondered year after year after year, access to referees, and after games they always leave together as a group, they arrive together on the field, they warm up together. What are the guidelines in relation to speaking publicly? Because you don't really find referees doing interviews. They might have head of departments doing interviews, but referees specifically, was there any guidelines when you were officiating at the international level that you had to abide by?
Well, as it relates to giving interviews, there's not a written guideline set up by FIFA. However, referees tend to shy away from giving interviews. Why? Because they don't want to be the story. A lot of times referees make decisions, good or bad decisions. They are the lead story in that process, and as such they shy away from giving interviews. I personally have given interviews and there are no restrictions. It's just that referees tend to deal with their in-house decisions, good or bad, their own way. Just like how you may not have a judge coming out publicly and giving an interview. But if you remember some years back at Stadium East when we had that lightning strike, JC, they were playing Woolmans. It was in the 86th minute of play and there was this lightning and 3 players got hit, got affected, and I had to stop the game right there and then. I have given interviews to different media houses. I don't have a problem. But just that referees tend to shy away. There is not a written guideline or protocol as it relates to match officials giving interviews home or abroad.
Right. I mean, you spoke earlier about what you hope to achieve on the channel, and everyone I'm sure is looking forward to, because as you know, when you have matches there'll always be at least 1 or 2 decisions that people will want to question, or was this so? And I mean, we also spoke as well what the World Cup as well in relation to decisions that were made, length of substitutions, was the ball out, was the ball in? So certainly I'm sure you're looking forward in terms of the ideas that you have in your brain, in terms of the content that you want to produce and show to the viewers.
Yes, most definitely, most definitely. One such controversial topic is offside. Offside along with VAR. I tend to touch on it with my wealth of knowledge, with my experience refereeing at the highest level there is. I was a former FIFA referee for many, many years. I am doing officiating since 2001. I was introduced by a friend of mine, the late great Stephen Brown, in 2001 to become a referee. So I hope to enlighten, to inform, to educate persons home and abroad, especially Jamaicans, persons who are here watching the JPL, watching Premier League, watching the Costa Cup, watching Manning Cup. I hope that my information will enlighten your darkness.
Right. And as well, Mr. Tyrell, you spoke about what you hope to achieve. I want you to tell us briefly about the experience you've had on the international stage as well. Officiating in games that are international and also club games as well, overseas as well. I want you to track back the memory and talk a little bit about the experiences you've had for international matches in CONCACAF at the FIFA level, to recap that memory where the first one was and the journey since then.
Wow, it has been a long journey, long journey, trust me. I did a game recently and I told someone that I've been reffing 21 years now, and he looked at me. Wow. He's 17 years old and he said, "For real?" I said, "Yeah, I started early." My first international game was 2007 at the National Stadium. I was the fourth official and I got that game by just preparing myself. The opportunity presented itself and I grabbed it with both hands. It was Whitaker from Cayman Islands, was Anthony Garwood and Ruan Thorburn. I was the fourth official. I think it was Jamaica versus El Salvador?
Yes, 2007.
2007 at National Stadium. I was very, very nervous. From the moment I got the appointment, I was very, very nervous. However, my senior colleagues, they spoke to me, tell me what to expect. When I went in the change room and started to check out the teams, one team, dominantly Spanish speakers. So there was a senior referee who went with me. He spoke Spanish as well, so he helped me. And from there on, gradually, I got a feel of it, what to do, what to say, what not to say, how to speak to officials on the sideline while the game is going on. So it was nerve-wracking at first, but gradually, years after I became a FIFA official, started to take the plane once every 2 weeks, 3 times a month sometimes. Being in the professional setup is very different from reffing locally. I can tell you that. Everything is organized, everything is on time, everything is just clockwork. Right. The speed of play is different. Wow. The players, they behave different. The surface is like lush green grass. Sometimes you play on artificial surfaces, but it has been a wonderful journey. I wouldn't take back one single moment, whether good or bad, disappointment. Nothing I regret about being a referee. I love it.
Well, yeah, and the passion, you can hear it all, folks. And as well, Mr. Tyrell, when you're bearing in mind, when you got to that FIFA standard, did you have to say to yourself, wow, the pace of the game, like you said, is quicker? Did you have to perhaps change your nutrition, perhaps, a bit more time in the gym and a bit more time, preparing the rules mentally, physically? Did that change when you got on the international stage in terms of your preparation for matches, events, etc.?
Yes, most definitely. Seeing how the professionals operate, you have to change your scope of doing things. I'm a teacher, 19 years now. I have a 9 to 5. So I get up in the mornings, I go to work, 8 o'clock, get off 5 o'clock. On the weekends, I spend time with my family. All of that has to change. So I have to set up my routine, okay. I start teach at 8 in the morning. I have a free session, say, between 12 and 2. I have to go train. Or in the evening when I get off, I pack my stuff and I go train for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And nutrition is a vital component to any professional athlete. The referee is a professional athlete, believe it or not. So my nutrition had to change. I stopped eating rice, bread, you name it. Taking vitamins, your supplements, everything. Simon, when I was born, when I was conceived, I was 12 pounds. I keep telling my friends, they didn't believe. 12 pounds. Yeah. When I left college, I weighed 200 and odd. And when I became a FIFA referee, everything changed. I went down all the way to 178 pounds. Remarkable. By being disciplined, dedicated, and training. Assessor/instructor told me in Honduras 2015, he said to me, your training has to be harder than your match. And every single day after that, I realized what he was saying. Your training has to be harder than your match. When your training is harder than your match, in the match you're floating. You're floating around, getting in the right positions, making the right call. And it's true. Whenever you see Usain Bolt train or those guys, they're flat out on the ground. They pass out for like hour, half hour, showing up because the training is so intense. When he gets to that track and he runs 9.74, 9.58 is the work he put in weeks ago, months ago. So it was all good for me.
Wonderful. You know, it's a lot to take in, I know, folks, but certainly it's certainly words of gems from former FIFA Referee Karl Tyrell. Finally, coach, before we wrap up, you know, anything you'd like to say to the viewers, you know, along this journey, you know, certainly, you know, hitting the like button, subscribe button, so important. Anything you'd like to say in terms of, you know, content that you hope to be working on for the next couple of days, weeks, the
yes, yes, most definitely. As I pointed out earlier, I would try to put out at least one video per week. I know time is of the essence. I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I'm a referee, right? So I see the game from three different aspects, three different angles. So even coaching, I tell my players, hey, leave the referee alone. Let the referee ref, you play, all right? I have lots of contents that I jot down, even before COVID. It's just a matter of time. One most controversial topic is offside. Persons will be in the offside position and coaches use that as a tactical ploy. So somebody may be in the offside position and another person running on to play that ball. Now everybody will be appealing, he's offside. No, you can be offside one of three ways. One, if you touch the ball. Two, if you interfere with play. Or if you gain an advantage by being in that position. Meaning, if the ball rebounds off the crossbar or the upright, you're there and you kick the ball in. That's number three. You gain an advantage, right? So this is some of the topics I hope to bring across to the wider public and to share with everyone. Lastly, I take this as an opportunity to thank Simon publicly. Simon, I have taught Simon since he was in grade 3. And trust me, Simon is one of my success stories. I'm so proud of him. And to be here, Simon to interview me is a blessing, a true blessing. And I thank God for that. And I hope to share a lot more information with everybody. Please press the subscribe button, notification as well. As soon as I drop a video, you all will get it. And your subscription is greatly appreciated. Thanks everyone. Peace.